right. So, welcome again to another business episode of Dai Good Talk. And we have the lovely Andrea Guelmo from Cutter's Corner, TT, who's here today to tell us about her story. So, tell us a bit about your business before we go into the questions. And yourself.
Okay. So Cutter's Corner TT actually came from my first business, which is Devour by Drea. For those of you who knew that, this came out just out of COVID. So I lost my job in the beginning of COVID. I was actually a funeral coordinator.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I lost my job. COVID started March. I lost my job in April.
Right.
Just like at the end
So
of
you
April.
worked for like a month?
No, I was working there for like a year and a half.
Right.
Love that job.
Right, yeah.
I love that job. I love planning funerals. It sounds real weird.
Yeah.
But so I lost my job. So the last salary in April, I took it and I started to do more food. So like food was always like my fallback.
Right.
So
okay.
I would do like lunch and breakfast, just to like.
And that would have been a kind of a booming time because a lot of the food places were closed.
Right. So
yeah.
I was doing like basic things, curry, barbecue, all the cues, right?
Yeah.
I was doing that. And then like this was in the time where everybody was doing mukbangs. Like that was the popular thing. Everybody doing whatever they eating, they're just eating.
Yeah.
So seafood was actually one of the things that they started during that time.
Right.
So
yeah.
Right. So I experiment. Came up with a recipe. My mom and I in the kitchen, maybe like 2 weeks straight, we just trying seafood. Have my recipe with Devour by Drea. So I started doing seafood boils, and that like basically paid all my bills and maintained my lifestyle for like until COVID was over. And then coming into Carnival now, I decided that, okay, I have a food business. It is registered. I registered it the minute I had it. So Devour by Drea was registered.
Right.
Coming into Carnival time now, I link up with my mentor, Brandon.
Yeah.
And he was like, the name okay, but let me try again. So we sat down and we brainstorm. As all good creatives do, brainstorming is important. Sit down and we brainstorm. We came up with Cutter's Corner. And well, my logo is like a street sign. So it's like on the corner. And I wanted to change my business from being like just a food business to a catering company.
Right.
So that's how it went from Devour by Drea to Cutter's Corner TT, and that's what we are now. We are a catering company and branching off into different things. So we are getting to the as we go along.
All right. So interesting turn of events because it seemed like a lot of people would have started businesses during COVID and it would have definitely shaped their lives in that direction, right? Which is good. You saw the opportunity in the crisis, right? So based on starting this business now, how did your first major event, I saw that it was Joshua Regallo's New Year's Eve party. How did that impact your confidence in your career?
First of all, I'm emotional all the time, right? So I was very nervous, anxious, all those things going into it. It was my first huge event. I catered for like 600 people that night. And that just gave me the confidence to keep going because they were like, oh my God, the food was so good. People coming back and saying, and they made little videos and stuff. Like over time, I lost the footage, but it gave me the push. And like up to this day, when I see, like if I bounce up Joshua in like a little KFC promotion or something, he's like, oh my God, use the kill from my party. And I was like, good that you remember me. Like you put the face to the name.
Yeah.
So it boosted my confidence significantly.
All right. As it relates to the seafood boils that you and Mom would have been trying the different recipes with, right? What actually made you decide to perfect that offering, and how did you set yourself apart in the market at that time, knowing that a lot of people were trying and making seafood boils?
So I think a lot of people were trying, yes. My recipe, I can't even tell you, I have like the perfect formula. But what makes me different is I think my customer relations. So
People's person.
Yeah, I'm a people person. I will talk to you. You will call me now to place an order. I talking to you. Feel like you're talking to your friend from a long time.
Right.
But still very professional.
Yeah.
So that kind of make people feel comfortable. I never eat from her before, but let me try it. And then when you try it,
you're eating again.
Wait, boy. I have customers still from COVID.
Yeah.
That would just randomly message me like, hey, you're good.
Yeah.
I just want to know if I'm still doing it all the time while catering.
Yeah. So while starting the business in COVID, right? I mean, you needed to make an income to pay bills, expenses, and whatnot, right? But as it relates to starting a new business, there's always challenges and hurdles, right? During that time, what would you say would have been your main challenge doing that you're new in the market?
Challenge wise, I would say finances.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the starting capital, which would
Right.
have been my last salary from my job.
Right.
And then as that dwindled, the money kept coming in, yes, but then that was my one source of income.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do, there were a lot of challenges. So I'm a mom as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom of one. So I'm a mom entrepreneur.
Right.
So that is one of my blessings and my challenges, because starting a new business while doing that, and then you have to like pay such close attention to social media and trends and being relevant with that, and trying to make, now everything is content. It
Everything.
was content for a while now, but now it's just real popular.
Yeah.
My challenge is just like, because I know a lot of people may not like personally have their little issues with people and stuff.
Yeah.
But just getting over that and trying to produce a good product all the time is a challenge in itself, especially with food.
Yeah. All right. You mentioned that you would have put heads together with your mentor to change the name from Devour to Cutters Corner TT. How did the name come about in terms of why did you decide to make the change?
So carnival time,
Mm-hmm.
and people don't want people really want food and fats unless it's all inclusive that have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, he asked me, what you want to do? It's carnival, what you want to do? And he was actually having an event. He was doing like an event where he was on the committee and stuff.
Right.
What you want to do? I said, well, I want to do cutters. So he was like, cutters. I said, yeah, I want to do cutters. And then he was just like, Cutters. And we was there talking. I can't remember. I think he's the one who actually said, what about Cutters Corner? And then I said TT. And he was like, yeah, you could set it up on the corner. You turn. And he's just breaking it down like that. Because it's Cutters. I mean, although it's, when we're doing corporate events, it's hors d'oeuvres.
Right,
and
yeah.
appetizers.
Yeah.
But when we're in parties,
It's Cutters.
It's Cutters.
Yeah.
So that's how we reach the
That's how you
Cutters
reach the
Corner.
Cutters
Yeah.
Corner. All right. Yeah, well, most names derive after something, a story, right? And I mean, is a story basically there.
Yeah, because
And-
that was just as Carnival was coming back around, like they were just getting ready to open back fetes and parties and things.
Yeah.
And that's when I said I want to do cutters and fetes.
Yeah.
And that was...
So, with the business as it is now, what is your method of marketing yourself to clients outside of social media? Is there another medium or channel that you use to get this done?
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like basic,
Yeah.
traditional word of mouth. So I was kind of like a party girl back in the day. People who know me from like UA and things. So I know like a lot of people.
You know a lot of people, yeah. Your network large.
Yeah, and I'm not boasting about that, but that's just because I could real talk. People
Yeah.
who know me know it's real, as I give real talk. So based on that, like I reach out to people, just message them, hey, I'm doing this. And that's how it started actually, before this content creating, me being the face of Cutters Corner.
Yeah.
I just message every single person I know who have like some kind of reach.
Yeah.
And that was my method of getting my business out there.
Okay.
And
Word of
sending
mouth.
samples, word of mouth, family, friends. Not all family, not all friends, obviously.
Yeah. All right. So outside of the Joshua Regallo, Christmas Eve, New Year.
All years.
Yeah. Out of that event, what was the most rewarding event or project you've catered for so far, and why was it?
Outside of that was Nyla Blackman. So this year made it the third year we are with that team.
Right.
And the person who is my like go-to for Nyla Blackman, I met him that same night in Joshua Regallo.
Oh, so word of mouth again?
Yeah, I met him. He was like, this is a real good girl. Give me a number, message me tomorrow. And Nyla was the next week, by the way.
Right, so it worked out.
One was the first and one was the seventh.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, booking. And that was the first year. And like, Nyla has been my most rewarding thus far in terms of like events that I know, they can call, or I'm hoping that they would call.
Yeah. Expecting the call.
So far. Other than that, there's been Grenada. We actually cater for Vaughan people who know. I'm sure everybody knows one.
So artists. Yeah.
We cater for his birthday. Well, I say we, but it's really me.
Yeah.
For his birthday party in Grenada this April gone here. So Nyla and Grenada was my most
Right.
successful in terms of like party wise.
Right. So you went across the Grenada?
Of course,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Carry all my stuff. I just rented like the hard stuff over there, like the pans, the chafing pans.
Right.
And I carry across everything as much as I could carry. And yeah, we actually have one coming up again in April.
So you didn't feel a bit challenged or a bit scared to cross the islands to do?
I was terrified.
Right.
What are you talking about?
So why? How you overcame it?
I taken by the grace of God, I had to sit down because if I don't sit down and pray, I will go mad. So for me, my faith is very important in my business because it does carry me through all the highs and the lows. And we all know everybody, once you have a business, you will have highs and lows.
A lot, yeah.
It do always be good.
It will always be good at all.
So like for going across the Grenada I don't know, I was excited, scared, worried, happy, sad, everything. But it was real good. Like I think Grenada was like one of the best set of reviews. I get like videos with Grenadians, people who don't know me. It's like, hey, you had to come back when you bring in double so
you had to set up something over there.
But I looking into that, Grenadians treated me really nice over there.
Right.
As a person and as a business. And I looking forward to going back.
Alright. So can you share a time when things didn't go as planned during an event and how you handled it?
So you mean every time?
Give us the most challenging time.
So, what boy?
Because you could plan, but things go wrong.
No, but Murphy's Law exists all
Correct.
the time in events, and whatever could possibly go wrong will go wrong. So, like, the simple thing so like before, I would have just haphazardly packed the car. Quick, everything quick. Speed. I'm moving fast, cooking fast, everything. This time I say I'm going to have a list. Again, it's together now. I'm a list of this. Where you're packing, where you're prepping, where you're cooking. This is not like terribly wrong, but it's one of the most silliest. Forgetting things home still happened, even though I prepared all of that. So just take me back to the question again. You say, what was the most...
Can you share a time when things didn't go as planned during an event and how you handled it?
Okay. So I planned to do all my appetizers before a specific event, right? All of them at home, where I do all my stuff in my kitchen. My kitchen is set up, stainless steel tables, right? Time to leave for the event now. The time is running out so fast. So I say I'm packing up everything and I'm doing it in the event. The event going on and I doing appetizers. The event going on. And that's like one of my worst things. But everybody was like, oh, she making it fresh. You can't let people see your sweat. So there's like, oh, look, she doing it in the back. Yeah, and I dress like this. I dress looking proper. Just trying not to like lose my cool thing. Time to make soup now. I don't have no cream of corn.
Lord.
What else? What else is going to happen? I say, you know what? Take it one day at a time. Make a call, cream of corn reach. You do everything on the spot. Everybody loved it. It was good. So these things will always happen. You just have to like remain calm and not get flustered. And like one of my growing moments is not getting flustered. Because in my first event, flustered. But you would have never see it, But after Joshua Regalo, like everybody had the food and thing, I went and sat up in a corner and cry. I being real honest with you, I sat up there and the New Year breaking and I am crying. But that was my growing moment to just not be flustered and like calm down and
relax.
Get it done. Yeah.
Alright. So many entrepreneurs experience imposter syndrome. Did you ever face doubts and how did you push through it?
So every day. So like, I mean, I've been posting a little bit about this, about like when things don't go your way or like when I have to sell in events, which is like, I do like to do that.
You do like to do the selling one?
I do like to do selling in events because it's a huge risk, especially with food.
Yeah.
I always doubt myself before, and even if it don't work out after, I do have like my little moment of, I really need to do this. Let me go and get a later for boy. This is stressing me out.
We as fellow entrepreneurs, sometimes I feel like that too. I just have my moments.
I wonder if I could get, so at one point in my life, I was a pizza delivery driver.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, now they're taking people, boy. For like a split second. And then I'd be like, hey, God didn't bring you to it. And he will, if he didn't, he's not going to bring you to it and not bring you through it.
Yeah.
So I tell you, if I didn't have my faith, why you'd be calling me to get your delivery done? Because I would have just looked for the easy way out. So I do have
You
doubt
accepted
all
the
the time.
challenge. Yeah.
All the time. I
Yeah.
have doubt and I just kind of sit on, people that help me through it is like my loved ones, my significant other, like these kind of things.
Yeah.
But God first.
Yeah. So would you say part of the reason why you do it, the why, is because of your loved ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter,
Yeah.
first things first.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've mentioned your mentor a lot. He was a past interviewee here, Mr. Brendan Braffett, right? How important would you say his role has been for you, and how important would you say a mentor is to any individual in life or in business? So you can answer one first and then we go to the other.
So Brendan is extremely important because yes, my loved ones is telling me, "Oh, you could do it. But I need, like, sometimes 11 o'clock in the night, Brendan, you up? He's like he's guide me.
Right.
And like if I feel like I doing nonsense,
Yeah.
he'd be like, you doing nonsense? Come back where you're supposed to be, focus. He's extremely important. I call Brendan like at least, if not once, if I'm in a real good month, he'll hear from me like once a month. But like if things like I'm feeling shaky, I'm not sure, yes, I would pray. But Brendan is my
sounding board in a sense.
Yeah. He's take man, he shake man, he say, hey, do this, son. You're on the right path. Don't worry, you'll be okay.
So how important would you say a mentor is to any individual in business?
I think it's extremely important.
Why would you say that?
Because they give you that, yes, you will have your faith, and yes, that, the Bible says, I don't mean to be like super religious, but the Bible says go lead by faith and not by sight. But sometimes you need that physical person there to not like actually hold your hand, but hold your hand and show you, hey, I went through this,
And there's the way out.
This is what you had to do. You think 2 + 2 is 4, and I tell you, I get 2 + 2 and I get 8. So will we do anyone with the 8 because I get through it 8. But I think it's very important. I also have another person that is kind of like my guide, and she's my lecturer. She was my lecturer in UWI when I did carnival studies.
Right.
She as well, ever so often, she'll pop up and be like, oh, you're going good. And then she just disappear. And she just pop back up and then just disappear again. But, yeah. And I met Brendan through her, actually.
Oh, yeah. So it's a network in a sense. Yeah. So how would you say, as you mentioned, the carnival studies, would you say that now that you are in catering, right, by extension, you're catering for parties, events, carnival time, and any other time that they may pop up, how would you say that these studies did have an impact to play in the role that you're doing right now?
I think so. Because of my event management background, because that's basically what carnival studies is.
Yeah.
Although people think it's just like mass and playing mass, and it's not. It's more like a event management, festival management. Because of that background, it's kind of helped me. It kind of helps me kind of hone into what I need to do. When I actually sit and focus and remember, like, what I've learned in my courses, in my festival management, in any kind of management. Because that's my background, event management.
Right.
So that helps me manage what I need to do and my execution. But with my catering and my food, like, my thing is the experience. So when you eat, you're eating food, but you're going to eat it and be like,
wow.
Like that kind of way.
Yeah.
So I think it's not just I just cooking for people.
Yeah.
It's about the experience.
Yeah.
Carnival and culture is the experience.
Yeah.
So that's my kind of tiny moment.
Gotcha. What advice you would give someone though, right, who's looking for a mentor in the business that they're in to assist them with success? Because you did mention Brendan, your lecturer, right? I want to kind of guide it to how I want you to answer, right? These two individuals, you would say, have experience, right? how important do you think it is for someone to get a mentor with experience in the field that they're in?
Because people just learn by experience.
Right.
You learn by experience. So you
Right.
have to get someone that has experienced certain situations to kind of either warn you or guide you or show you what they did differently.
Why I ask that is because, I mean, in our culture, we tend to ask anybody, right? It might be family members, it might be friends, right? But sometimes you're asking for this advice, but it's not always coming from a learned place or an experienced place, right? So I just want to I just wanted that exact answer from you.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's really important because people just talk about things they don't know about.
So, how is balancing entrepreneurship and motherhood, right? How do you prioritize family time while running a successful business?
I just bring her in the kitchen to help me.
So, what age?
So she's 9.
Okay.
So that makes it easier.
Right.
When she was younger, it was more difficult to balance having events or working because I also worked a lot of night shift. I worked as a chef, I worked as a bartender. So
Right.
a lot of nights I have not been there. But again, having that family support, like my mom is my biggest support where my daughter is concerned and taking care of her. But family time. So when I have an event, now she's 9, she knows exactly what she have to do. Just when she sees me start to get flustered and frustrated, disappear.
She disappeared.
Just start to clean, sweeping.
Yeah. So she being helpful.
She making up the bed. She putting clothes to wash. 9, She putting clothes to wash. She'll ask me for help on thing, but she trying to be as helpful as possible. Time to pack the car, she helping me. It's way easier now that she's older.
Because she read the room.
Yeah, and she have experience with it because
Yeah.
I try to like involve her. So our family time is involving her because ultimately my goal is to set things in a place with Cutter's Corner that, it is for her. It's for my daughter.
Right. So a legacy plan.
Yeah. And family time, you see, like after event, like a big event, she know that for that week, I just busy. You see, after that week, we definitely gonna do something. We go to Tobago, we go 5 Islands, we do something together.
Bond,
she and I,
Yeah.
So she is a little
So you have a good
sacrifice
mix.
that time. Yeah, it's a sacrifice. And as she getting older, it is getting easier. Thank God.
So, what daily habits or routines help you stay grounded and focused as an entrepreneur? Because we all know it's challenging.
Boy.
Yeah.
Journaling
Right.
is one of my,
Yeah.
planning the things that I need to do in my journal. So like I have 2, like one for like my personal thoughts and then one for like my business thoughts.
Right. Yeah.
So I kind of try to keep it separate and going to the gym.
Right.
So
Okay.
like in the past year, I've tried like really hard to mold my life the way I wanted to because I mean we're getting older.
Yeah.
So like in the past year, I've been really consistent with the gym and working out, and so that is so when I feel like I need like some space to just clear my head, I go to gym.
Okay. All right.
I don't do the linemen and the friends and the drinking and thing anymore.
Yeah.
It don't result in anything good.
Gotcha. So you found your balance basically.
I'm trying to find it.
How do you continue to grow your in culinary and your business skills in this fast-paced industry?
So I don't have the time to like invest in going to like a course and sit down and doing like pastry courses and things. So in my spare time, I would just be doing research and writing down things like how to present food differently, how to do this differently. Now I would always put my spin on a recipe if I find a recipe I like.
Right. You have your own twist.
Salt and black pepper is not it.
Yeah.
Right.
I catch what you're saying.
So I would find my way to incorporate a little rosemary, a little fresh seasoning thing. So my thing is I research a lot on my craft.
Right.
Like, and now as I'm trying to, how to put it, like put a face to the name. So when you hear Cutter's Corner, you think like, oh yeah, that's Andrea kind of way. So like, I don't know, just research. All I can say is just plenty research, and in my spare time, that's what I do.
So before we were talking about social media, and I just heard you say about putting a face to the name. Is it that now you're coming in front of the camera and being that face?
Yeah. So even if like an event is really hectic or busy, I always try to keep myself looking well put together.
Right.
Even though up here might be put together.
Yeah.
So like I would try to and because your parents people eat with their eyes first, right?
Correct.
None of people gonna eat man, but
Yeah,
people
yeah,
would
yeah.
see you and be like,
Yeah.
boy, her food look like it tastes good. Look at how she looking like that kind. So I am trying to be more of a face, not an influencer.
Right.
But
a
just so
face
that you
to
could,
your business. Yeah.
So when you think Cutter's Corner, you think Andrea.
Yeah. And I mean, people usually buy into the owner, right? Depending on how you sell yourself. Right. So that's why social media is extremely important.
Of course.
I would have started using social media for business fully during COVID. And that would have been the time when everybody would have been home.
Yeah.
And
Scrolling.
Well, right, and scrolling. So that was the ideal time. And I mean, it did help our business. I think if we were a bit more consistent, it could have propelled further.
I think so,
yeah. But I mean, the social media is extremely important.
Extremely time consuming.
It is time. Listen, trust me.
I will be parking my car from Price Mart.
Yeah.
And people like,
You recording it?
yeah, because I'll walk to the car, lean up the phone, walk back a little bit, walk back to the car, and they'll be like, this girl, what's she doing?
Sometimes you gotta let the noise, you can't listen to the noise.
Of
You
course,
can't
I'm
study.
making my content and I'm talking to myself while I'm doing it.
Right.
So, it's really important. It's extremely important.
Yeah. So, what does success mean to you just beyond financial growth?
As I say, putting my face to the name, so like I'll be a household name. Aside from having my bills paid every month, I want people to say, "Yeah, but I'm hungry." Like we call Andrea. Like when I reach there, like for me, I'll feel successful. But I feel like I do have a definite answer for that, because I feel like every time I set a goal,
Things change.
I just keep setting the goal higher and higher. So I'm feeling like, kind of way. I don't know. I don't have an answer for like ultimate success. But success means just being a household name. When you're hungry, you think about me.
So, based on that, right, what would you say is your long-term vision for Cutter's Corner TT? And how do you plan to expand or evolve in the coming years?
Okay, so this is an important one for me, because I do have a couple things in the work. So as I say, a household name, right? And back to the seafood boils. So I am actually launching within the next month or so. Let me see if I just...
As a line of seafood. Okay.
Yeah, like just after Carnival, because I feel like now everybody like mass parties, thing. So just after Carnival, I will be doing pre-packaged seafood boils. Like what you see on TV, yeah.
Right, okay.
So I have those things in the works. It's just to get it out there and just the right time to do it. But it's already in the works. So I do meal prep as well, aside from catering.
Okay.
And well, I say I get my fitness together, so I also get in it, giving people the opportunity to do the same.
Right.
So like long term, again, pre-packaged meal preps. When you're not thinking about me just for catering and just for like food, comfort food.
Right.
It's all around.
Right. So it's health as well.
Health, yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I have my seafood boils that are coming soon.
Yeah.
And then the prepackaged meals and meal prep and just working. I'm like, my goal is to work with more companies and feds at the same time, but like more corporate catering. Yeah.
Right. So any plans for location where people could come?
Yeah.
Right. That's
so
something
that is definitely in the works. Hopefully by the end of the year, if not sooner.
Right.
Because a lot of people do ask, so where you located? When we come in, girl, in a spot. So it's happening.
Right.
Everything happens in its time, but it is one of the long-term plans.
You have anything you want to share with us in your journal there? I see you have a journal with your pen.
I just shared it because I remembered.
All right.
I remember what you say, so I shared it just now there.
So, as we conclude, right, if you could give one piece of advice to aspiring entrepreneurs watching this, especially to those who may feel stuck or afraid to start, what would it be?
So everybody will say keep going even when it gets tough. But as I mentioned before, my faith is my guiding, like my biggest guide. So when you feel stuck, think about what you could do differently to kind of take you out of the hole then. I just call it
Right.
the hole because you sit down in the hole mentally and you're feeling frustrated. Think about, okay, well, I did this and it didn't work. What I could do differently, but maybe the same thing, but a different way.
Right.
So like you're taking a back road to get to the same place.
A bit of introspection, you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, yes, you're feeling defeated in the moment, like, oh God, I really wanted this to work and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Look at what you did wrong per se and try to do it differently.
Right.
And also, if you have nobody on your side and you're really not that religious person,
Pray.
you could try praying if you are not somebody, because it have people that don't believe in God.
Yeah.
Try journaling and just talk to yourself then.
Yeah. Introspection, right?
Talk to yourself.
Yeah.
But keep going and don't give up.
All right. So we come to an end of this particular episode. We have the lovely Andrea Guelmo from Cutter's Corner TT. I hope this episode was beneficial to any viewer listening and deciding whether to start a business or to take a leap of faith in anything that is going on in their life right now. So join us again for another episode of Dai Good Talk.